Well, we've got a banyan tree and looks like a prison are the two places. We've got royalty, king or a queen, and we've got a young person, looks like on a little skateboard, and what have we got? An object. We've got an elephant. That sounds fun. And let's see. Oh, we've got a treasure map here. I rather like that. And our problems. We've got an argument. Oh, that looks quite serious, doesn't it? Yep. A house in a flood. So how could we now make that into a story? Well, it so happened that, let's start with crisis, which is unusual. We don't normally start with a red one, but we're going to start with that now. And they're having a big argument, you see. And the argument was over this treasure map. And one was saying, oh, well, I found it, it was mine. And the other was saying, no, but I found it, it was mine. And they brought their dispute to the king. And the king said, well, actually, all treasure belongs to the king, so it's mine. And how dare you say that you're going to find it without bringing it to me? And as a result, he put both of them in prison, which was rather sad. Now, one of the men, he had a son, and his son came to visit him, and the father quickly drew him a picture of the map. And the boy said, oh, I know where that is, and he raced off on his bike as fast as he could on his little scooter and got to the banyan tree, beautiful banyan tree in the heart of the forest. But of course, when he got there, unfortunately the ground was very hard and he was struggling to dig up, because of course the robbers who'd buried the treasure had dug it very deep. And at that moment it started to rain, and rain indeed very, very heavily, and that fortunately made the ground very soft, so he was able to get up all the treasure, which he then loaded up on his scooter and began to pedal back. But the rain was falling more and more heavily, and by the time he got to the palace, the water was extremely high, and the king was waving his hands around on the top of the palace saying, help, save me, save me. Well, fortunately, the boy knew that the king had his own royal elephant. So the boy ran to the, I don't know what you keep an elephant, it's not a stables, is it? And he got hold of the elephant, and he rode the elephant. And of course, the elephant, being very big and strong, swam through the rising waters with his trunk held up high in the air, and so the king was rescued by the boy, and he was very grateful. And then the boy said, but first I've got to save my father. So he ran to the prison, and the elephant wrapped his trunk around the metal bars and ka-toing, pulled out the bars and saved both his father and the man. And the king was so grateful that he then said, well, fair enough, you can share the money between the two men. And the boy was very happy that his father was safe, and of course they had all the money. End of story.